If you tryna die, then pick your poison. I got 5 ways. Slapped him with his 9 cause he was looking at me sideways. I put her just to violate. These ops I'm about to annihilate. Got partners doing like some others waiting on their try days. If you tryna die, then pick your poison. I got 5 ways. Slapped him with his 9 cause he was
Live from Flushing, Queens, New York, and World Pro Wrestling headquarters, a night before we electrify you all with Purgatory, we are live for the debut episode of World Pro Wrestling Hot Stove. My name is Johnny Murphy. The pleasure is mine to see all of you here tonight, all you friendly and some unfriendly faces. And as we go out with the rest of the show, you will hear interviews, exclusive access, and you will also hear the card coming up for the next episode of World Pro Wrestling Purgatory, episode 8. But for now, let's hit you with some breaking news right at the top of this hour. B. Barrett, unfortunately, has sustained an undisclosed knee injury that has been severe enough to qualify for surgery. Therefore, B. Barrett is now out of World Pro Wrestling indefinitely. For more on this story, let's take it back to Gravity Falls and their matchup against Louise Bates. It was B. Barrett's first singles pay-per-view match in WPW. Her last pay-per-view match was, of course, the Crowder's Chamber at WPW Midsummer Classic. She went head-to-head against Louise Bates in the ring. Back and forth these two stars went until Louise Bates hit B. Barrett right in the face with brass knucks, causing a disqualification. The two would brawl afterwards before Louise left the ring. The next episode of Purgatory came out, and Louise Bates decided to come out and have a little play at the fans' expense, trying to make them believe that she was about to apologize. Take a look.
I've spent countless nights thinking about what to say or do, but I think I finally found the right conclusion. I want to apologize. I want to apologize for the attack on B. Barrett. I want to apologize for the things I said to Angel and the others that have followed me for so long. And most of all, I want to apologize to myself for not doing any of it sooner. I want to apologize to myself for not making sure that B couldn't walk out of Gravity Falls on their own 2 feet. I want to apologize to myself for not being the one to put Angel on his ass when he announced that he is a part of the roster now. If I had known just how quick you all would be to turn your backs on me, I would have done all of this years earlier. Because damn does it feel good to not have to act like I need your approval. All you did was hold me back. All any of you did was hold me back.
B. Barrett heard this and decided that enough was enough and came out to confront Louise Bates, and this is what she had to say.
So forgive me. Forgive me if I don't really care about anything you're saying to these fans. They didn't hold you back. I wasn't taking your place on the card. The only thing holding Louise Bates back is the fact that deep down underneath all that anger and bitterness, you're actually just a loser. So thank you. Thank you for finally showing everyone just how much of a loser you actually are. How far you're willing to stoop to be in that spotlight. But I'm not freaking done with you, because you robbed everyone at Gravity Falls. You robbed these fans who paid good money to see me kick your butt into the dirt. You robbed me from being able to dish out that butt kicking. And then you robbed yourself of a beating you deserve. So how about I finish what I started at Gravity Falls and give every one of these fans what they paid for?
And it was after those words that B. Barrett would rush down the ring and start brawling with Louise Bates, so much so that the feed got cut. However, I am unfortunately able to tell you that when the feed was cut and we went backstage during APH's interview throughout that show, B. Barrett and Louise Bates were separated. However, Louise had one more lunging attack, and that attack was to the knee, and unfortunately I regret to inform you that that knee has been severely damaged. It is going to require surgery, and unfortunately B. Barrett will not be a part of World Pro Wrestling for the foreseeable future. However, I do want to send this message out to...
Shut up, Johnny. I'm talking now. Don't worry. I won't waste too much of my time on this, because, quite frankly, You people aren't worth it. But let me ask all of you a very simple question. Really? You really thought someone as fragile as Bea Barrett deserved to be the next challenger for the Goddess Championship? Bea couldn't even survive a fight that they started. So here's a little piece of advice, Bea. Don't start shit if you can't finish it. Now, you're sitting at home nursing your injuries, and you can thank every single one of these people for it. They believed in you. They cheered for you. They handed you an opportunity that you were never good enough to live up to. They should have chosen me, because unlike Bea Barrett, I actually get the job done. Now, I want to talk about something that's actually relevant. My future. Sophia Winters, I'm coming for the Goddess Championship, and whether you like it or not, I'm taking it. You can complain. You can cry, like you usually do. But none of that is going to stop me from taking what's mine. I had you beat once before. Next time, there won't be anyone to bail you out. I'll tear through everyone in that locker room if that's what it takes. And when I step into that ring with you again, I am going to crush you and take what everyone already knows belongs to me. Now get the hell out of my face.
Oh, and there you have it. Louise Spates zeroing her sights on the WPW Goddess Championship. But speaking of Enchanted, actually before we go there, I want to give a special shout out to Bea Barrett. Before I was interrupted, I was going to say I wanted to tell you we look forward to your recovery. Take as long as you need, health-wise. And I look forward to seeing you back in this ring in WPW, handling your business in due time. Just take your time. We'll be here waiting for you. But switching gears now to the Goddess Tag Team Championship division and a monster fatal 4-way match of the Classic Champions one. Let's take a look right now. Enchanted, Flip and Fly, the Kurosakis, and the Salazars all doing battle. And at the end of that matchup, it was nothing but anarchy, destruction, and mayhem in the middle of that ring. However, in the midst of all the chaos, Enchanted, Sarah Miller, King Sarah Miller, and Dakota Wheeler were able to overcome all the adversity and become the new WPW Goddess Tag Team Champions. However, of course, everything was not all sunshine and rainbows for the other three tag teams, more specifically the Kurosakis and Flip and Fly, who have never had a cross word with each other. However, things got a little bit heated after Veronica Martin said this on Gravity Falls. Take a listen.
Hey WPW faithful, Veronica here. The first ever clash sure was something, huh? I know many of you were hoping for Em to show, but she was having visa issues and thankful we got Cynthia on hand. So Cynthia and we took the fight to the Kurosakis, Enchanted, and the Salazars, and it wasn't enough. We now live in the darkest, bloody timeline imaginable. However, Flip and Fly will come back for those Goddess Tag Team Championships. In the meantime, two specific people got in Sin's and my way. Like, a lot. Yuki, Mizuna. Bet your asses that Sin and I owe you two a receipt, and then some for handing Enchanted those Goddess Tag Team Championships. A good Flip and Fly beatdown will be coming your way sometime very soon. Now, I'd love to stay chat, but I think I've taken up a bit too much time. Enjoy the rest of Gravity Falls.
It brewed over to episode 7 of Purgatory, which featured Veronica Martin going one-on-one against Mizuna Kurosaki. It was a hard-hitting affair, but in the end, Veronica Martin managed to get the victory and managed to pick up a big win. However, the board of directors saw that and managed to make this match for WPW Purgatory episode 8 tomorrow night. Flip and Fly will soon get their chance to go for the tag team titles, but tomorrow it is going to be the Kurasaki's turn. Mizuna and Yuki Kurosaki, the Kurosaki Zaibatsu, will go head-to-head against King Sarah Miller and Dakota Wheeler Enchanted for the WPW Goddess Tag Team Championships. A lot to think about in this environment, ladies and gentlemen. But that remains to be seen in terms of this situation. Now let's switch gears from the Goddess Tag Team division over to the Riot division of WPW, and a whole lot of anarchy between two men, Hunter Quinn and Bentley Harper. It all started when Bentley Harper made his debut in WPW and managed to pick up a very impressive win and gain himself an opportunity at the Grand Prix Championship of Clash of Champions 1. However, Hunter Quinn, there you see it on your screen, attacked Bentley Harper backstage and was able to net himself a chance in that championship matchup, and he was in the match, unfortunately dropping the matchup to Mr. Blackson, the eventual champion. Things boiled over on social media with both men going after each other, saying how they were going to destroy one another. Hunter Quinn especially, I can't even say or repeat the things he said. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's very graphic. Things boiled over in the last episode of Purgatory, where Mr. Bentley Harper managed to pick up the win of his life, defeating Angel Perkins Harris smack dab in the middle of the ring, clean as a whistle. But things weren't all sunshine and rainbows, because as soon as that match was over, right there, Hunter Quinn jumped Bentley Harper and continued to beat him down. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on good authority, Aaron Miller is very close to sanctioning a matchup between these two men to happen in the very near future. How is that going to turn out? We can only wait and see and try to speculate. But I'll tell you one thing, it is going to be a barn burner, to say the very least. It's going to be very interesting to see just how those two men handle fighting one another, all within the rights to become number one contender, perhaps for the Grand Prix Heavyweight Championship. Now, speaking of championships, let's go towards what I feel has been a very interesting title picture, the International Championship. Nadia Strongarm and Layla Williams are two women that have been going after each other for months now. And it all came to a head at the Grand Prix, the International Championship six-pack challenge at Gravity Falls, where it came down to Nadia and Layla. Well, unfortunately for Nadia, Layla was the one that survived the onslaught, and she became the new international champion. Now, sources have told me that Nadia Strongarm is potentially being booked to be the number one contender for the international championship. We have yet to hear any comments from Layla Williams, although I have it on good authority she will be watching this episode of Purgatory very closely, especially considering the fact that her potential number one contender is going to go one-on-one tomorrow night against Piper Salazar. This match is going to be extremely interesting. Can Piper pull off the upset, or will Nadia strengthen her argument to get a future international championship opportunity in the very near future? And speaking of championship opportunities, we're talking about championship opportunities gained. What about lost? Let's go back to Gravity Falls. Dominique Whitfield getting her opportunity at the Goddess Championship against Sophia Winters, when Jane Rage right there took out Dominique and made it so that Dominique would lose her opportunity at the Goddess Championship against Sophia, taking the 1-2-3 smack dab in the middle of the ring. And as for the whole conversation with the Goddess Championship got all jumbled up, and we'll get to that later on, ladies and gentlemen. But in episode 7 of Purgatory, one of the Goddess champions, Amara Parker, defended her championship in the main event against Jane Rage. Jane Rage thought she had the matchup won right here, but after the 2 count, she decided to take matters into her own hands and attack the referee. Why? We have no freaking idea. She jumped the referee, took him down, and all looked lost for Amara Parker as chaos was about to ensue. But instead, Dominique Whitfield came in, Vindication boot, Damo bomb, and as quickly as she entered the ring, She disappeared into the night just as fast, allowing for Amara Parker to get up, beat Jane Rage down, and claim the 1-2-3, defending successfully her Goddess Championship. Things between these two stars, Jane and Dominique, have gone to a boiling point. So much so that we're not going to wait till San Andreas to settle this score, nor are we waiting to Clash 2. Tomorrow night, live on Purgatory, it will be Dominique Whitfield one-on-one against the Demon Queen, Jane Rage. And especially considering all the chatter that's been going around Dominique as of recent, people calling her a Nepo baby, saying that she's not talented enough to be on this roster, that she's been handed opportunities because of her family lineage. All of that, Dominique has a chance to silence all of those doubters and gain a much needed big victory against a former Goddess champion, one half of the longest tag champs in WPW history, and a former Goddess Lottery Rumble winner in Jane Rage. Can Dominique do it tonight? Only time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, switching gears now to one of two of our main event sections here tonight. And this one is extra special to me considering who's involved here. Let's take you back to Game 6 of the Best of 7 series in Purgatory, Episode 7. Larry Wheels versus Zeke Salazar. These two men have been going back and forth in this Best of 7 for months now. But unfortunately for Larry, it was just not his time. Zeke Salazar picked up the victory and gained himself his first official #1 contenders match, or #1 contendership to the WPW Championship. And as you see it on your screen right there, he will compete for the Heavyweight Championship of the World against Calvin Madison at TakeOver San Andreas. I'm going to do a little bit of a digging of a history lesson. Let's take it back, all the way back to Lottery Rumble 2023. It was at this event that Zeke Salazar got his unofficial championship shot, against the then champion Jarek Lawson, after Zeke took out the scheduled #1 contender and jumped in front of the line to gain himself a title match. It was a highly fought affair, big time fight feel, but unfortunately for Zeke, he was unable to net the championship, losing the matchup to main event Jarek Lawson. Now we fast forward 3 years later, and Zeke Salazar has a chance to do something he has never done. He has won world championships all over the world. He's been a decorated champion. But one thing he's never done was win the big one in WPW, win the World Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And that is on the forefront for Zeke Salazar if he can manage to topple the near year-long title reign of the shocking champion turned dominant figure, Calvin Madison. And speaking of Calvin Madison, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk confrontations. This one's going to be huge. Tomorrow night, live on Purgatory, Episode 8, Calvin Madison, the heavyweight champion of the world, and Zeke Salazar, the #1 contender, will both be in the same ring at the same time to discuss their potential championship matchup at San Andreas. People, I cannot wait for this. It is going to be a barn burner, to say the very least. Now, let's fast forward to the last topic of tonight's show. The one topic that everybody in the Goddess Division has been talking about. What is about to happen with the WPW Goddess Championship? Well, I have it on good authority that the board of directors has a huge decision on their hands in terms of what's going to happen with these two titles. Because currently, Amara Parker is holding around her Goddess Championship. She successfully defended against Jane Rage in Episode 7. Sophia Winters is holding her Goddess title. She successfully defended against Dominique Whitfield of Gravity Falls. And also has to defend tomorrow night against Adriana Devitt. Yeah, there's a big shock to you, ladies and gentlemen. Adriana Devitt, by orders of Aaron Miller, will get her shot at the WPW Goddess Championship tomorrow night against Sophia Winters. But even in saying that, depending on who wins that match, there's still the problem of two Goddess Championships when there really only needs to be one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the board of directors has made a call, and in a short statement they said The WPW Goddess Championship situation is one that is brewed based off of chaos and turmoil. This decision cannot be taken lightly, and it affects not just the competitors involved, but everyone in the Goddess division and everyone in WPW. Therefore, it is our ruling that the commissioner, Aaron Miller, must make a decision on this title picture by episode 9 of Purgatory. If a decision is not made by episode 9 of Purgatory, then the board of directors will have no choice but to step in and make the decision for him. That is huge coming from the board of directors. So depending on who walks out as the Goddess champion tomorrow night between Sophia and Adriana Devitt, one of them, along with Amara Parker, will have to confront Aaron Miller based on what the board has said, and Aaron Miller is going to have to make one of the biggest decisions of his young career during this commissionership. What's going to be the status of the WPW Goddess Championship? Only time will tell, as ladies and gentlemen, we are fast approaching tomorrow night's episode of WPW Purgatory, and I am going to be very proud to reveal this card to you. As I mentioned, Amara Parker will be there at Purgatory to address the fans for the first time in nearly 2 years since being away. What will one of the Goddess champions have to say in terms of her absence? Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta be honest with you, I got goosebumps for that one. I cannot wait to see what she has to say. And of course, I already announced this. The Goddess Tag Team Championships will be on the line. Enchanted Sarah Miller, King Sarah Miller, and Dakota Wheeler will defend their titles against the Kawasaki Zaibatsu, Mizuna, and Yuki. Then Amber Young will hope to bounce back from her losing streak as she goes one-on-one with another woman trying to get on the right track, Lady Kiro. I can't wait to see that matchup. Hunter Quinn is going to have to take on another powerhouse, a monster in fact, in Marty Morton. How is this going to turn out? Broken bodies and broken bones at this point, because Jesus Christ, that's going to be a phenomenal matchup. Dominique Whitfield looks to gain a massive victory against a former Goddess champion when she goes one-on-one tomorrow night against the Demon Queen, Jane Rage. Nadia Strongarm has said she has gotten first dibs at the International Championship, and Layla Williams, but will Piper Salazar throw a wrench into her plans? Only time will tell. And just coming through my desk right now, Samantha Young has opened the form. She will go in that ring tomorrow night and have a WPW World Openweight Championship Eliminator match. Against who? We're going to find that out all together tomorrow. And apparently, along with Sophia Winters defending her title, she will be speaking to all of you fine folk tomorrow. But that is before she defends the WPW Goddess Championship against the #1 contender, Adriana Devitt. And of course, our third title match on the night, Mr. Blackson, the WPW Grand Prix champion, will defend his title against the man who on episode 7 won a massive fatal 4-way match against Jeremy Barmore, against Preppy, and against Alexander Barnes. I'm of course talking about the Kaiser Lion, Tristan Silva. Silva and Blackson, all hell's gonna break loose. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you tonight here on the Hot Stove. Again, thank you so much for allowing us into your living rooms on this night, just to give you the heads up and all things WPW all the time. Be sure to check your local listings for more episodes of the Hot Stove as they come out. I hope and pray to see you all tomorrow night for World Pro Wrestling Purgatory episode 8. And until then, as always, stay cool and stay awesome. I'll see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.